How's it going, guys? It's Josh here, and today we're taking a look at not so much a desk, more of a desk riser. Now, most of you have probably heard of sit-stand desks before. For people who spend all day working at their computer, they can be very useful, as it's generally accepted that you should stand for at least 2 hours during an 8-hour workday. They're also useful for people who suffer from back pain and find it uncomfortable to sit for long periods of time. So there's definitely a market for this sort of thing. The only downside is though they can be quite expensive, so the sit-stand desk riser I'm going to be showing in this video today is kind of designed as a middle of the road option for people who need an ergonomic workstation but don't want to spend a ton of money. First of all, thanks to Flexispot for sending me this unit for review. Now let's get into it. So first off, it comes in a couple of sizes, a smaller 69cm model and an 89cm model, which is the version I have here. You'll be glad to know there's not much assembly to be done. The only thing that you really need to do is to get a screwdriver and put 8 screws into these metal plates and bolt them to the keyboard tray. More on that later. We get an instruction booklet which briefly explains some of the functions of the desk and also how to install the keyboard tray. We're also instructed to attach these plastic covers to the frame to hide the mechanism. They don't really do anything, they're just for aesthetics. They also feature the Flexispot branding. The desk itself is quite heavy, coming in at 25 kilograms, but it's made nearly entirely out of metal, with the only other material being the wood used for the desktop and the keyboard tray, which themselves are rather heavy. This brings us on to build quality. It's very solidly built. Like I just mentioned, the frame is an all metal construction and the whole thing feels extremely sturdy even at full extended height. The max load capacity is 16 kilograms, which is more than enough for any computer equipment that you might want to put on it. The height adjustment mechanisms have also been fatigue tested 6,000 times, which should give you at least some peace of mind when it comes to durability. I also dropped the keyboard tray onto the laminate floor several times while assembling it, but amazingly there weren't any scratches or chips on it, so pretty good job here. Moving on to the general looks of this thing, I'd say it looks okay. You can get it in black or white, but I'd like to have seen some more natural wood colour options for the work surface and keyboard tray. I think this would have looked quite cool. Having said that, generally you trade aesthetics for ergonomics, and this thing isn't really designed for a gaming setup or anything, more for an office environment, so it's probably more important that it has a hard wearing coating rather than looking good. Another minor niggle is the rather noticeable branding logo / website on each side of the base. I don't mind it so much on the mechanism covers, but here it just seems a little bit unnecessary from an aesthetic point of view. Moving on to usability, I was pretty impressed. Work surface space is excellent, with 89cm in width and 78cm in depth. You can get a laptop and a separate monitor on this thing at the same time, although the actual footprint of this thing is a lot smaller, coming in at only 78 by 56cm, so it's not too difficult to fit it on an existing desk. The mechanism used in the desk riser is exceptional. It's a dual gas spring and is very smooth and stable indeed. You can adjust the height by holding down these two levers and moving it up or down. There are 12 height settings altogether. When flat is 15cm high and at full extension is 50cm. So there's quite a lot of adjustability here, which is great, and you can also hear it lock into place, so you know it's not going to move. It's extremely easy to move up thanks to the gas assisted spring. However, obviously if you don't have much weight on the desk, it does require you to apply quite a bit of downwards force to get it to move, so just bear that in mind. You can decide whether you want to use the keyboard tray or not. I'll show you that now. It basically sits on these bolts that you screw in by hand, and it feels fairly stable once it's on. However, unfortunately we don't get any height adjustment here, which would have been nice to see. There is quite a nice amount of space on the keyboard tray though, so you should easily be able to fit your mouse and keyboard on it, maybe even have room for a tablet too. A couple of other features that we get is a mount at the back for a monitor arm, in case you ever wanted to add one for even more adjustability, and also Flexispot have even paid some attention to cable management, giving us some slots at the front to feed keyboard cables through, and interestingly this slot could also double up as a tablet or phone holder as well. We do also get some cable management clips to tidy cables. Finally, the price, and this is where it's a bit difficult to see where this sits in the market. The trouble is, the model I have here currently sells for £275, and while yes it does allow you to use your computer while sitting or standing like a full sit-stand desk would, I can't help but feel that if I'd purchased this, I'd probably wish I'd have just paid a little bit more to have a full sit-stand desk, one that's also electric as well. There's quite a few examples out there, but the Becant desk from IKEA is £445, it's a proper desk and it's electric. Don't get me wrong, this desk riser is fantastic quality, it's stable, the finish is very hard wearing, and it offers quite a lot of functionality. I just think for it to find its place in the market properly, it could do with being cheaper. I think people would be more inclined to pay around £200 instead of nearly £300. Or maybe I've just got it all wrong and it's actually designed for people who really like their current desk and don't want to change it. Who knows? Either way, I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. As always guys, thanks so much for watching and I will catch you all in my next video.